What's up, everybody? It's Omar from the Bullish Bears team. It's about 8:50 p.m. March 30th, 2017. I wanted to make a video talking about my two plays for today and building my watch list for tomorrow. Just a couple of things for those of you that are new. I belong to the Bullish Bears team. We're a free service group. We don't charge no fees. It's donation based. We're primarily located on Facebook. You can go to Facebook. It's a private group. Just search Bullish Bears. Type search Bullish Bears in the search. You'll see this appear, and you just ask to join, and we'll let you in the group. All right, and every day this group keeps growing and growing. We're about to hit 5,000 members. This group started with about, when I entered, it was about maybe 30 members at the time, or 40 members. It just continues to grow, and people just share. If you see, this was my play for today. I actually posted it. It was one of my two plays. And then I had my big winner play earlier this morning, PRN. I'll talk about that in a moment. But just people here posting. It's fantastic. I mean, I have me here in the search, but if you I go here, and I just refresh it, you're gonna just see it's just people from just all different types of people just posting, asking questions about stocks, about some people swing trade, some people options trade. Look, there's a newbie here asking questions about ETFs. And just people just share. I mean, I've never seen a community like this, man. Everybody's so friendly. I mean, we barely have any trolls, and anytime we've had a troll, they've been removed immediately. We don't tolerate that in our group. We want people to ask questions, feel comfortable asking questions, feel comfortable sharing information, and that's what we're about, man. We're about paying it forward in our group. So we're on Facebook. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel. So just type Bullish Bears on YouTube. It'll come up as Stock Market Community Bullish Bears emblem, and just subscribe. All right, it's phenomenal. And we also have a website. So a lot of people ask me about how do I build my watch list and how do I wear all my videos. Well, you'll find them here on YouTube. But if you go to bullishbears.com, we actually have a website that's pretty phenomenal. And on the website itself, if you look to the menu section, you're gonna see you have a stock trading course, momentum trading course, and options trading course. All right, that you can actually click on and see. So my course is the momentum trading course, and you click it, and what it does, it gives you a link to all the information related to my course. So it'll link you to all the YouTube videos in a sequence where you should watch. And what you're gonna see as you watch this, that over time, the information from the very first video to the last video changes because you grow and adapt as a trader. You have to adapt to the market. You're not gonna always be doing the same things. All right, and it's pretty phenomenal. If you don't care about, maybe you're like, you know what, I don't like day trading. I think it sucks. I'm more of an options guy. You click the options trading course, and you get a full options trading course that's free, guys. I mean, this is not we're not charging you for this. It's a donation based service, and we appreciate any donations. But it's all free. All right. So with that said, hopefully this will lead you all in the right way. I'm gonna go in. I'm in Thinkorswim currently. This is the platform that I use. All right. Let's talk about the two plays that I had today. The big one I had was PRAN. So today was the first day where I got to implement these scanners that I have. So this is the TTM squeeze here that you see here. This is the TTM squeeze, and what I did was I embedded this squeeze here on the side scanner. It is amazing, because what it does, it allows you to see what's moving. And what I did was I put two time frames, the 1 minute and the 5 minute. So I have a previous video that I walk you through how to build this. But if you're not sure, all you need to do is you go to YouTube, just type TTM squeeze, and it'll link you to a video right here. Thinkorswim watchlist TTM squeeze. And in this video, it shows you how to do it. It's very, very simple. It's about 10-minute video. It shows you how to do it. It's very, very simple. And I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. It is phenomenal. I was just finding plays everywhere. If I had time to trade all day, I would have been killing it. But I found this play really quickly, and you know what? I have all these scanners. So I have the, if you watch my Think or Swim creating a watch list, I have a nightly scan watch list. I have a gap scan, 2 candle gap scan, a dip buy. It's basically the reverse. So these are the first 2 candles that close green in consecutively in the 1 minute chart, and I have the opposite, the 2 candles that consecutively finish red. Going on the 1 minute chart going red, and then I have a couple of other scanners that I do. I'll tell you though, to be honest with you, I find most of my plays on the nightly watch list scan, and I saw prime, and I saw it here on the 2 candle gap scan. It actually popped up, and it was light blue, which tells you that it's about to squeeze. So I immediately saw the chart, and as soon as I saw it, it was popping up here, and it was gaining some momentum, and I just once it broke $3, I was in. And because $3 is a psychological resistance barrier. As soon as I got in, and I have this set up really easy, so like I can go here and I can just go buy the ask. All right, and you'll get executed immediately. And I was in 2,500 shares, and I rode this just right up as soon as I got in. So let me show you how this works, because I'm gonna remove the drawing. So you're not gonna, obviously in hindsight, it's easy to show you this because you see it like you see the candles, but when you're in, you're not gonna you don't know what's gonna happen in the next candle. So what I do is I usually form a trend line like pointing at 2 o'clock. So what I do is I click here, and then I just start, right? So like you're not gonna have these candles here in front of you. So what I do is I just point it like this, because you're not gonna have any screen space. So oops, sorry. So I point, right? I let go. I usually point about 2 o'clock, and then what I do is I right click and I go extend to the right, and then what it does, it just extends it to the right, and you just, so as the candles keep forming, you have the trend line already situated there. So it's not a perfect science, but I always tell people, create your trend line generally between 2 and 3 o'clock, and you just ride the trend. And all I did was rode the trend, and you see, you get the gap up. These are bull flags. You get the gap up, you get the pullback, you get the gap up. There's a small little pullback, and you got that last gap up, and then you had the reversal. And I would have loved to have shorted the reversal, because you get out once it breaks the trend. And I actually got out over here in the $4 range, because I just didn't want to be greedy, to be quite honest with you, and I have all eyes on me, and I had to get out, but I was okay. I made a little over $2,500. I was good with that, So once it reversed, this, you get the wash, and look at this. You could have shorted this and made a killing, with the washout. You see, and you notice it stood above VWAP, and it stood above the 9 EMA. And this is your typical momentum play, guys, where stock is gonna rip really quickly at the open, okay? And this was if we look at the stock, this was 11 million shares, which is, I usually say my criteria for low float is 10 million or less shares, but really it's more like 20 million. But I generally focus on 10 million or less. But theoretically, anything 20 million or under in terms of float is considered low float. I'm sorry, this was volume. I'm sorry. Let me add shares. I took it out because I'll add it right now. We'll see how many, and I'll just move it up just so you guys can see. All right, shares. So this stock, I'm sorry, it has 8.8 million shares. So it's a low float stock. That's why it gapped up so quickly. And what happens is, what also helps it move up is that people should place short orders to short the stock. And as the stock continues to gap up, they have to buy to cover their shares, which squeezes the price further up in a faster pace. So remember, when you're in a stock, guys, whether you're long or short, just put a trend line. It actually helps you get a sense of the direction of the stock. So that was my first play today. All right, and let me remove this just to call this out. I say this again and again and again. Generally, what happens is, when you get a momentum play, you're gonna get a push up. You're gonna get your first pullback. You're gonna get a push up. You're gonna get your second pullback, and you're gonna get your last push, and then you're gonna get the reversal. This is like a textbook momentum play. You get 2 bull flags and then the reversal. That's how, this is the most typical type of momentum play that you're going to see. Okay, I mean the market's been crazy. And on the 5 minute, if you're looking for an entry on the 5 minute, you're looking for the first candle to make a new high over the previous candle. So if you're not comfortable here, your entry on the 5 minute would have been here, would have been here, or would have been here. All right. But and then what you would have done is wherever you enter, you put that trend line, all right, and you go like usually like 2 o'clock, and you just ride the trend. As long as it doesn't break the trend, you stay in the stock. And let's say you would have got executed here at 391, you could have rolled this up to 437, and as it comes down right here 409, it breaks, and you could have sold out, and you still would have profited. All right, so that's a good way to kind of gauge your entry and your exit. The trend lines really do work. They're phenomenal. My second play today was ATHX. It was a quick one. And again, I saw this. I wasn't even going to make a trade. I was kind of done. But, I was loving this scanner. And I saw ATHX squeeze. I had the two light blue signals, which means that there was a squeeze happening. And when I looked at the stock, I saw it squeezing. Where was it? Squeeze. Oh, yeah. It was right around here in the 150 area, I think it was. And I saw it squeezing, and once I saw that squeeze, I jumped in. I said, shit, it broke above 150. I forgot why I got it, 151, and then I just put my trend line, and this is the 5 minute, but I want to share something with you guys. So I got in about 154, I think it was. I got executed, and I put my trend line, go up my trend, and 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 you see it's doing these little bull flags. It's right up on the 1 minute, right? And and then it gapped up here, and then you get this doji. When you see these dojis, that means there's gonna be a reversal. That means that's called a doji, and that means that there's an indecision and a trend reversal generally ready to take place. And you see how it breaks the trend, and I sold my position. I got 1,000 shares. I made a little over $100. But the reason why I was upset was, if you look at the 5 minute, you see this is the 13 EMA and this is VWAP. All right, you see how it pulls back to the 13. It never broke the 13 EMA, so there was really no reason for me to come out. You see, it had the gap up, the pullback, the gap up, the pullback. So these are bull flags when it gaps up and it pulls back to the exponential moving average, and it just rolled the 13 EMA. Look, it never broke below it. It here for a second, but you could have rolled this all day, and but I couldn't stay in anyway because of work. So so I made my quick money, and that's what the stock market is about, folks. It's about getting a piece of a move. You're not going to get the whole move. Stock trading is not like running a business. Running a business is about maximum profitability. Stock trading is about making small profits, and those small wins grow into big accounts over time. And that's it's psychologically it gives you more confidence too as you make wins. Even if you make $20, $50, $100, that's money made, and you're in the green, so you should be proud of that. All right. So those are the two plays I wanted to talk about today. And also just remember too, when the other bullish signs, not just the squeeze, guys, but remember the MACDs. When the green crosses over the red and the more spacing there is, that means that's a very bullish sign. That means there's a lot of buying pressure here, and that means the stock is going to go up generally. That's another confirmation. So with the TTM squeeze, the MACD crossing, the volume push, that's how you knew the price was going to go up. All right, so all those things help give you a clear confirmation that the price of the stock is going to move up. All right, so I just want you to keep all that in mind. You just don't want to look and see, oh, I see these two things like blue, I'm just going to just jump in. That you got to be mindful of all those things as well. Okay. So with that said, let's build our watch list for tomorrow. So again, my criteria is I'm just gonna load the scanner, which is my nightly scan moves, but that scan always lives here, just to inform you. And for me, this is my criteria. You can make your criteria whatever you want, guys. You don't have to be exact and mimic exactly what I do. Maybe you want to look for stocks in the 5-cent range to $1 range. Maybe you want it to be from $1 to $10. Maybe you want it to be from $50 to $500. It's whatever you want, but this is the criteria I look for: between 20 cents, $30, 500,000 shares or more in volume that is up at least 5%. And then I hit scan, and we got 51 plays. Okay, so I go to charts, and I'm just gonna click on the filter to start with the highest percentage gain. The first one was prawn. And prawn, this was the play of the day. This finished up 37%. You know, it had its run, and you see it's washed out all day, and it's still overextended. I mean, this is a stock that nobody, like, barely trades, has any volume ever. All right, so it's gonna collapse back down to nothing. So I'm not gonna even put this on the watch list because I don't expect this to move again tomorrow. I mean, this would be a good short. If you can find shares to short, I think this is gonna collapse. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Let me go. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just gonna right click here. I'm gonna click here, left click here. I'm gonna go to create watch list, and I think tomorrow is April 1st, so I'm gonna put 4/1/17 and hit save. All right, now we'll build it out. So now I don't like Prime because I just don't think it's gonna. For a short seller, yes, but I don't think it's gonna gap up tomorrow. ORG, another stock. This thing had a colossal move, man. This is the type of stock where you make a lot of money because it had, I saw this actually. It actually popped up on my squeezer, but I didn't make the trade because I just couldn't. I just couldn't do it fast enough. I was like, just looking really quickly at stocks. I mean, if I was here in my house, oh yeah, I would have been in this all day. But as soon as it started moving, but I didn't jump in. Now it had a nice run. It went from it opened at 25, it hit a high of 44, and kind of washed out. But it's holding support here at 31 cents. I think I don't expect it to move again. But you could look to see where it's been over the last year just to get a sense of the direction. This stock was at its height, $3.38, and it just completely collapsed. It's at 17 cents. I mean, it's still, look at this, it's oversold. But if you look at the MACD, it's bearish. It's starting to curl. So maybe this might be a potential swing trade. I mean, if it can get past 55, it can get all the way to 72. I don't know. I mean, me personally, I probably wouldn't do it. But there are people who buy these stocks that are undervalued, and this potentially can bounce back up. We'll see. I don't know if it's worth. You know what? I'll put it on the watch list. I don't know if it's gonna. I don't expect it to do much tomorrow. I expect it to give back gains, but I'll put it on there just so you guys that are it's a swinging, maybe want to take a look at this. So I'll just keep it on your radar. So I'll leave it there. I mean, it was very liquid. Next up, ATHX. Now this is a stock that I traded, and I wish I would have held because I'd be up, almost 1,000. But it's up at $2. It's holding its highs. I don't know what it's gonna do tomorrow, to be quite honest with you. My expectation that it's gonna give it back. I need to look more at the fundamentals of the company. I don't know anything about this company. It's announces receive NASDAQ delisting notice application for hearing an appeal. Oh, so it's looking to be listed, I guess, relisted on the NASDAQ. But I don't know. I expect it to just Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong stock. Oops. Stock after hours listed scorecard. I don't know. I mean, sometimes if you want to get more knowledge about a stock, you can go to analyze, and you can see what are some of the actual different analysts are saying. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna do tomorrow. But it's holding this high, so it's going on the watch list. It should be volatile. MOLF, nope. CEI, nah, no volume. Well, it had volume, but it's choppy. I don't like it. Beat no way. VBIO. It's not light in volume. I mean, gapped up nicely, but has no volume. I'm not gonna look at this. NYHI, nope. IMMG, nope. You see all these dog shit companies are moving, man. There's so many pumps going on right now. It's crazy. CNAT, yeah, look at this, man. This thing's up after hours. And CNAT, when it moves when it has news, it moves. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, more than likely tomorrow is gonna be a great opportunity to short this back down. But we'll see. I mean, this is a stock that it's a low float. So when it's low float, 10 million. I'm sorry, no, it's not low float. It's 26 million shares. I'm sorry, that was volume. But it's holding its highs. We'll see what happens. CIE's up. All right, and this was on my watch list yesterday. And if you would have bought shares at the open and held this, you would have made 16% on your money. you know, these energy stocks are moving now. Do I think it's gonna continue up? I don't know. We'll see. This was 37 cents 5 days ago. So had you sized in, you could have made a killing. You know, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna be on the watch list for tomorrow. Do more research. Maybe it's worth holding. Let's see where it's been over the last year. Maybe it's worth a swing. I mean, look at this. This stock was at 350, and if you're looking at it, you know, it just came out of the overbought oversold territory. It's up, so it's up on the RSI, but the MACD's curling. I mean, it had 3 green days, so it's due for a pullback. But you know, who knows? Maybe it rips. So if you see, it looks good, if it breaks above VWAP, make a trade. You know, use VWAP as your stop loss. You know, and you don't hurt. You know, it doesn't hurt. So I'll stay on the watch list. IDXG. You see, it had that big move after hours yesterday. And you know, it had the run. Sometimes the stocks have their run after hours or pre-market. And look at this. This thing just collapsed and sold off all day. You know, so that's why I love short sell. Short selling is so much money in short sell. It's so much simpler than going long, guys. These companies are all dog shit, and they all give back their gains. All you need to do is wait for the first red day, the first day that the stock closes below the previous day's close price, and that's usually the indicator to get in. Like you see, it had its first red day here, or its second. It gapped up, but it closed here. Now tomorrow, this is probably gonna give back more. So if you could find a broker to short, you know, short sellers are gonna keep driving this price down, and they make a killing. That's what short sellers do. That's why they get so rich. Tim Sykes, Tim Grattani, all these guys, Cameron Foods, all they do is short sell. They barely go long. Next up, CYRX, about 1 million shares. It's holding its highs. But you know, it's choppy. It doesn't, you know, this doesn't have a lot of volume. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but I mean, 5 days ago, this was what, 196 at 235. You know, it was at 375 previously. It might be worth a swing. You know, I would say look at the chart and you know, do your homework. You know, I mean, this has a lot to go back up. I mean, look at this. It's extremely bearish, but the green line is starting to curl. I mean, it may be potential swing. But I'm not gonna put no money in this. You know, I only play the price action. If the patterns form and the volume's there, I'll make a trade. That's how I look at this. LPHT, man, this thing ripped. I saw this too. I was gonna make a trade on this. It just grind nice and slowly all day. Look at this. This thing just rolled the EMAs. You know, if you see a stock like this and it's riding the EMAs, you just stay in. As long as it doesn't break below the 9 and 20 EMA, you stay in on the 1 minute. You know, same thing on the 5 minute. You know, you get in, if you ride, you see, it just stood above that 13 EMA pretty much all day. I mean, nice, simple, easy. You know, you'd have to watch it all day, but you know, because you don't know if it's gonna collapse. But you know, once, let's say you got in here, say I'm gonna ride it. It broke above VWAP. I'll use VWAP as my stop loss. And remember, you just start going in this direction. Now, obviously, if you're in here, you're not gonna know the rest, and the screen is not gonna let you go. So you just put a little trend line, and then you just go extend to right, and just say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna stay in as long as it rides the trend. And you see, you could have rolled this all the way up, and once it came down and broke the trend, you sell your position. You know, that's how you do it. That's how you make trades riding the trend. All right, but it's gonna be volatile tomorrow. I expect it to come back down tomorrow. That's my expectation, but we'll see. EXRT was up, man, pre-market from 6 to 8. And you know, kind of found its new support level here at 735. It's, you know, it's kind of washing out. You know, it's overextended. I'm not gonna put on my watch list, but you know, this may be a stock that continues to run. You know, do your homework. See where it's been over the last year, over the last month. I mean, look at this. This thing is just continuing to go ham. You know, it's at its all-time high, yearly high. So you know, maybe this continues to go. Maybe it's a good company. I mean, look, it's crossing over. It has more room to go. Who knows? But you know, it looks like it looks like it may have more room to go. We'll see. HTGM, yeah, it had a nice spike today. Look at that, man. Look at that. See, had a nice move. It just curled up, and you see, this is called a U-shaped pattern. This is part of those patterns that I talk about in my PowerPoint in the momentum trading. This is the very first course that you need to watch when you do watch my momentum trading strategy. Where is it? Do I have it here? Oh, it's not in this one. But I posted it. It's in my other PowerPoint. I can't find it. But Sorry about that, guys. But you know, this is a U-shaped pattern. When you see a stock going like this and it's forming the U-shape, that's a buy sign. And then, you know, if this is high a day, you know, at this point you want to say, all right, I see it forming the U, I'm gonna put you know, a trend line, and if it breaks above the trend line right here, you know, I'm in. And you see it's forming the U, and this is why it's getting volume, because people noticed the pattern forming. And once they saw that U shape forming, boom, and it broke over the high day at this point, they're in. And that's why you got all that buying pressure. So let's say you would have got in, I would have just, remember, like 2 o'clock. You just, so again, if you're here, you know, you put your trend line, obviously these candles wouldn't be there. So you, let's say you got in here, you're probably gonna have this much real estate. So you go like this, then you hold, you right click on it, and you would extend the right. And you just ride it up. So let's say you would have rolled this up, and then it reverses here, you know, you start to sell once it breaks the trend. So let's say you would have got in here at, you know, let's say you got executed at 720, and you're riding this up, and you see go all the way up to 799, and you see how it reversed at 795. It reversed because $8 is a psychological, it's a whole number. So people are scared and they're starting to take their profit. And you could have sold right in here. Let's say you say, hey, I'm gonna wait to see if it breaks the trend. Right here, once it broke that trend, you could have got out at like 750 and you would have been up. All right. So that's why the trend line is so powerful. It makes things easy. And then you could have took a short position and killed it, shorting it. I am not you know, it's gapping up. I mean, and it's up again. You know, this may have another move in it. You know what? I'm gonna put it on the watch list just because this stock tends, sometimes when it moves on news, it runs for days. And look, this is a stock that share-wise, it's a low float, so it may have another day in it. We'll see. SSI is up. Stage Stores, it's up, and you know, it gapped up, and it kind of found its support here at the 250 level. This thing was 193 5 days ago. It just continues to move. I'm gonna put it on the watch list because it seems to be holding support. Maybe it continues upward. We'll see. All right. Next up, BCEI. Nah, don't like it, too choppy. ANI. Nah, I don't like it, too choppy. RXY. Nope, too choppy. AXEY. Nope. Look at that. Collapsed. Biotechs. I hate. Don't hold with biotechs overnight. You never know. They're very dangerous to hold overnight. ITX. No. Ew. BV, XY, nope. FRSH, nah, no volume. I mean, it's holding its highs, but there's no real volume. And again, I always tell you this, when stocks are like this, creeping up, and nobody's watching them, they just tend to continue to go. That's what I've noticed. I'm not going to put it on my watch list, but you can put it on yours. INDH, nope. TNDM, nope. ALQA, nope. UNX, nope. Wow, look at this. Collapsed after hours. ACLS, yeah, no volume, but this thing is moving, man. It was at 15 bucks, it's at 18 bucks. I mean, you know, it could be a potential swing. I'm not gonna look at it. Wow, look at this stock. It just collapsed, completely collapsed after hours. Imagine you holding that thinking you was in for next day. Look at that. Caca. Nope. OMER. It's up. This is a stock, wow, it was $11 5 days ago. Gapped up to 15 to get back, still above VWAP. I'm gonna put it on the watch list. This was on my watch list a couple of days ago. This stock moves, man. It tends to move. I'll put it on there. Let's go. TENX. Nope. NQ. Nah. ERII. This thing, you know, kind of like moved up at the market open, and it's just been sideways. It's been sideways all day, but no volume. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list. KBTI. KPTI, no volume either, but it is gapping up. It was at $10. It's at $12.83. I mean, let's see where it's been the last year. You know, I mean, it's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wow, 5 green days, and it's still bullish. I mean, it may have more to move low. I'm gonna put on the watch list just because you may look at it to swing it or take a, you know, do your homework, obviously. But I don't see anything right now that I particularly am in love with yet. PTCT. Now here's a stock that I like. PCTC. Yeah, it had a nice push, had some good volume. It closed high. PTC. Yeah, definitely will be on the watch list for tomorrow. Wait, is it PCT? PTCT. Sorry guys, I'm tired. All right, let's go. ARCO. Too choppy for me. NCS is holding its highs, but look, no volume. It was at 15, it's at 17. Maybe you want to swing it. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you. IMY, nah. I mean, look at this. This thing's up though. 5 days ago it was 235. It's at 469. I mean, and it seems to be holding support here. Look, it's forming higher lows here. It's in this trend. I mean, see where it's been on the last year. I'm just doing this extra research just if you're thinking about taking a. I mean, look at all the green days. This gotta get back. I would expect tomorrow this is gonna close lower than it opened, because it it just had so many green days. You just gotta expect people are gonna take profit and pull. It's gonna pull back. I would be looking to short this tomorrow, me personally, but I don't like no value. And NSRM, nope. WMIH, nope. JILL, nope. JST, nah. NL, okay, nope. FCEL, nope. FTR, nope. AEZRZ, nope. Man, there's nothing. This is black plays. FRTA, I mean, it's moving. Not a tremendous amount of volume, but this thing was what, $17 5 days ago. I'll put it on the watch list. See what it does tomorrow. This might be one of those stocks that may present a good short, but no volume though. But we'll see. And then AKTR. Look, this thing ripped after hours, but it's already giving back. Nah, I don't like anything. What I do sometimes is like, because my scan is showing me stocks that finished 5% or higher. Sometimes what I do is I don't find a play. I'll hit like the 2 candle gap scan, and then I'll just look through stocks that are finished lower than the 5%, but they may have held their highs. Like here's an example, ON. ON is something that I would put on my watch list. It had 4 million shares, even though it's up only 1%. This thing is continuing to gap. Look at that U-shaped pattern. It may continue up. All right, that's something that I may want to watch. All right, MIK, look. Michaels, it's up only 1%, 1.6%. That's why it was on my scanner. But look at this. I like the volume. I like the action. So I'll put that on my watch list. All right. So sometimes you gotta dig. Really dig. That's why this takes time. And I'm looking. You see, these are stocks that I'm looking at the 2 candle gap scanner. But look, I'm finding more plays. Even though the reason why they follow my regular scan, because these are under the 5% criteria. Look at this stock, GME. GME, 2.2 million shares. Look at this. This thing's been running. I'll put it on the watch list here. So, sometimes you got to play around with it. Just like you got to really dig to find plays. But, remember, you have scanners. So, look, I traded 2 stocks today that weren't on my watch list. Even though my watch list was good, there were some good plays on there. I'm just not reviewing them because it's late and I'm tired and I'm just ready to go to bed. But that was a 2 candle gap scanner. And then sometimes, I'll pull up I have this after hours gap scanner. And sometimes I'll look there to see if there's anything running. Like this is moving, but I'm not going to put it on my watch list. And I just look really quickly to see. Like I already have seen that there. And I'm just going through here and just see if I see anything. I'm just looking really quick. Nothing. Nothing's calling my attention. Nothing. 0, 0, 0, nothing. And then sometimes normally here, I don't have it here now, but I have my highs scanner. And, sometimes I look at this, and these are all under 5%. Look at this. There's not a lot of volume, but look, it's, it's over 1 million shares, and it's up, GFRS, So sometimes you look these and look, here is BRKS. Look at this. It's 4% off, but not a lot of volume, but I do love the way it moves. I mean, I'll put it on there. Unfortunately, these are more expensive stocks, though, but, a play's a play. Look at this. FCX didn't appear because it was under the 5%, but look at this. This traded high, and this is absolutely something I would put on my watch list. You see, so sometimes you got to dig. Normally, my watch list is good enough to, give you plays, but as the market starts to pull back and there are less and less plays, like you're going to have to do more digging to find plays, Here's some other ones here. I'm just showing you this because I show you, this is how you really do it. Like, you got to spend time looking through this and then find your plays. And then, out of this watch list, you figure out, all right, which stocks, are the ones you really want to look at. But this is a small watch list, so it should be easy to check all these stocks at the open. Remember, when you see that, that means it's squeezing. At the open, I also look at that dip buy. So what I'm looking at the open is I want to see both of these red because I want to see what's selling what's selling off at the open, and here, you know, I want to look at what's moving up. You know, depends on what I want to trade, up or down. You know, so that's basically how I do this. You know, that's basically how I do this. So I hope you found this useful. These are the plays for tomorrow. I'll post them in a sec. All right, have a good night, guys, and see you in the chat room.